Hi everyone, it's Lizzie with the Lizzie T Show on YouTube. We're here with another guest, another episode. Thank you so much for following. Thank you for being part of this amazing network that we have created here in beautiful Toronto, Canada. I would like to thank, this has been such an amazing year, and I would like to thank all of you that are watching, all of you that are being part of, this network, or I don't know what to call it anymore, because we have involved so many people that are part of this event. And the sponsors. Thank you so much, Natasha, for sponsoring the show. And we have here with us today an amazing lady, a friend, a sister. I don't know what else to call her. She is so dear to my heart. And big news. I have a big reveal as well, but let me introduce you, Jessica Alex. She is a publisher and an author herself. It's such an honor to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, Jessica I met her about 4 years ago via a network event, and we became soulmates and friends from the beginning. She published her very first book, which we were part of it. And my husband and I decided to publish a book, and now she became a publisher. She has helped 14 people publish their book, children's book, and also how many people you have with adult books?
So we have 4 adult fiction as well as non-fiction as well. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. This is a full-time job for you now.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. So tell us a little bit about how did you get started? Because writing and being part of the publishing and PR was always your thing, but it wasn't a full-time thing. How did you turn and how did you get started?
So first, thank you again for having me. And in terms of starting out, I actually was working at a bank since I was about 19. And I always loved to write from when I was a little girl. So I was writing while I was working at the bank, and then in 2012 I decided to publish one of my children's books, and I'm of course giving the short story of this. And I decided to go the entrepreneurial route and publish my own book, but not so much as just self-publishing it. I wanted to have my own company. So while I was working, I started my company Upon a Star Books Inc. And I published my first book, What If the World Had No Color? And from there, it just started to grow. And my actual plan was for the first 5 years, I would continue to publish all of my books that I wrote. And then in the 5th year, I would start looking to work with other authors. But you know how life works sometimes. So instead, about a few months after publishing my own book, and going out there, doing networking, doing different interviews, I had a person reach out to me and say, look, I want to work with you, I want to publish my book. So within a year of me having my company, it went from okay, I'm going to only do my own books, to let me switch gears and start working with authors, and I haven't looked back since. Wow.
So do you have a sample right now of your book? I love to show to everyone.
Course.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is actually the second book that I have published for my own story. So this is Candace's Big Fight.
Wow.
It's based on a true story. It's about my sister who, when she was 10, she was diagnosed with leukemia. She just turned 27, so it's amazing. It's a good story.
Good ending story.
Exactly, a happy ending. And I wrote this book to basically create some type of healing for our family, because even though the leukemia might leave your body, or the cancer might leave your body, it leaves emotional scars, if you will.
Absolutely.
So I wanted this to be a healing for my family. And when I read it to my sister and my family, they just loved it. And I was happy, like I got the reaction that I wanted.
And I think there's a word.
I had continued, publishing other books. And my sister was like, hey, but what about the story, that you wrote? So from there, I'm like, you know what, like, I gotta get this published. So this year, just in September, I published this book. And at this time, like, if there's any organizations that work with families and children that have been affected by cancer, for example, leukemia, I would love to connect with them, because I think that this is something that I want to get into the hands of families that are dealing with it, so they know that they're not alone, and you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
So reach out, everyone. By the way, all the links for Jessica will be underneath here. Her website, her YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. My goodness, she's everywhere. She's everywhere. So let's show us the other side of you. That's the children's side, by the way. But you have adults, people that are publishing the book, and that you have a second company, and that is called.
So I have another imprint called Victorine Publishing, and this is actually the latest book that was published. This was the third one. The third one. I'm like just going with these books. I can't even keep up. The fourth one is actually coming out this week. So so this is a poetry book written by Madette Mendoza, and I think she was a guest on your show.
Yes, she was here. Yeah, she was here about a couple of months ago or a month ago. Great lady, great lady, great
amazing
singer.
Voice, exactly. Yes, and you know, it's just, you know, everything happens for a reason. How I met her, I saw her perform, and I reached out to her to see if she could perform at other events I do. And one of them was actually John's launch, exactly, book launch. So, and then, you know, keeping in touch with her and having her do different events. She's like, I have a story that I'm working on. I have a book in me, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, right? So it's just amazing how life works, you know? And
I think a lot of people, especially people that are watching us right now, they're probably thinking, how can I publish my book with Jessica Alex? So what would differ you from a regular publishing company?
Well,
and we talked about that, by the way, lots of times.
Yes. So, I mean, the publishing industry, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of different components to it. I think the one that people are most familiar with is called traditional publishing, which is, for example, HarperCollins, Penguin Random House, and Nancy Books. These are the ones that people are familiar with. And that is usually when a manuscript is submitted, and if they approve of the manuscript, then they will publish their book, which includes, for example, if it's a children's book, the illustrations, the cover design, the interior design of the book. They take care of the printing, the marketing, and of course the distribution. These days, especially, you have to check with each traditional publisher because sometimes they don't accept unsolicited manuscripts. So if that's the case, then you need to look for a literary agent and look for one that fits within the topics that or the genre. So for example, there are literary agents that specifically do children's books. There are literary agents that do fantasy fiction. So look for the one that would match what you're writing about, and then from there, they would be the one to shop your book around.
Now, cost-wise is probably, when you're going with a brand name publishing company, you're probably looking at a big budget.
Well, yes, the traditional publisher, they have a big budget to deal with, or it depends on the actual book, right? So not all budgets are the same, but they do a lot, X amount, depending on what the book is and how well they think it's going to do. And from there, usually how authors get paid is through royalties. And for a new author, you're looking at usually typically 10 to 15% royalties. And in some cases, you may also get an advance based off of how much they think
you can profit from.
Exactly. So with traditional publishing, you're not paying for your own printing and design, things like that. That's something that the publisher is taking care of, and hence why they give you royalties, right? So once their costs are covered, you know, they'll give you a percent. So that's usually how traditional publishing works in a nutshell. So I kind of cut it down a little bit
more to it. But,
so that's basically it in a nutshell. Then there's vanity publishing, which is another. There's a lot of publishers out there that people have heard of that fall under vanity publishing, and typically you're basically paying them again for their services. So you're paying for the design of the book, you're paying for the printing. I find the vanity publishers that I know, they usually will do what's called print on demand. So they will be able to get your book into stores such as like Chapters, Barnes and Noble,
Right.
Amazon, but it's usually online. So that means that if someone was to go in store to purchase your book, it's not physically in store.
They would have to download it.
Well, they would, like if someone orders the book online, then they will print one copy or however many copies the person orders and ships it. So literally print on demand. As someone orders, they'll print a copy of the book. And usually that means that the cost per book is a little bit higher as well,
Right.
because the more books you print, the cheaper it is per book.
Absolutely. So, and people working with you, how would that differ?
So I consider myself a one-stop shop, right? So my thing is I do work with authors who are looking to self-publish, but I take care of all the needs that they need. So the editing, the design of the book.
Wow.
I have wonderful illustrators that I work with for children's books. I have photographers. So I work with different people to make sure that the client's needs are met, right?
You have a pretty good team.
I do have a great team, and my team is always growing and evolving, which is, you know, what you want, right?
Right.
Because I don't believe in treating each person like a number, right? Everybody has different goals, everybody has different desires and wants and reasons for publishing their book, right? So my thing is to make sure that the end result is catered to what my client wants and what they need.
And that's really rare to find out nowadays. To have a custom, it is a custom design to your and catered to your needs. You're not a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Everybody is different. Everybody is special, and that's what I love about her.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that. And you know, for me, I like to follow up with my authors too. So it's not like again, that whole thing about you not being a number. You know, I would meet with people and see, okay, well, how are things going? Like, what is it that you need? That kind of stuff. So I like to build relationships with people, right? So, you know, if ever they need something or they have a question regarding like your publishing or anything of that sort, they never have to be afraid to reach out to me. Like, I'm going to be there to help them and hold their hand.
And I hear that it doesn't stop there too, because you're working with people's PR as well. They're not necessarily publishing the book with you, but you're helping them with their PR as well. And that's something new that you have started as well.
Yes.
Wow.
So
busy lady.
So under Upon a Star Books Inc., I started working with other authors who didn't publish with me, but for example, they work with like a vanity publisher or they self-publish, but they didn't have any marketing services.
Right.
So what I did was I was working with them under Upon a Star Books Inc., but I decided last year to start a new division called Just Alex Marketing that does the same thing of working with these authors. However, I thought maybe, you know, if someone, these were all referrals, right? So I thought maybe if like a stranger wanted to reach out and they go on my website, they're like, like this is for children's books, or oh, I have to publish with her in order for her to help me. So just to make it clear to everyone that I'm open to working with different people, I started that new division, Just Alex Marketing.
And it's going really well, because I have gotten several referrals, people that want to have interviews, and the proof is in the pudding. She's been getting so many business. I mean, it's only been 3 years of you going this full time, and I can tell you, you're pretty booked, right?
Yeah, so officially about 2 years ago, I left. This is what my passion is, so I'm happy that I'm able to continue doing it.
And obviously you're very good at it, and people love you and adore you because you are, again, one-on-one. You create that relationship with people, and I have referred many people to her because she's amazing to work with. She's a go-getter. If you want something to kick your butt, she will definitely do that.
In a nice way, definitely.
Now, 2018, and by the way, I wish everyone happy holiday season. What are the plans for the future for you?
Wow, so 2018, I'm actually really excited. This year went by really fast. Like I said that every year, but this year seemed like it really went by.
You've had a lot of people having book signings and things like that.
Yes.
Watching you on social media.
This year was the most books published by me alone. So it was amazing. It was almost double the amount of books from last year. So you know, things are going by, and they're going by very quickly, but I definitely have a lot of things I have planned for 2018 that I'm excited about. Like even for example, I was talking about the industry, traditional and versus self-publishing. That's something a lot of people want to know about. So I have put together a little something. So I'm not fully announcing it just yet, but
to disclose.
Yes.
One of the things that I had a person that I interview on the radio show, and they said that they tried publishing down there by themselves, and coincidentally enough, it didn't go anywhere. We're talking about a fellow that wrote a children's book, and he said that as soon as he met you, he was able to pretty much sold out.
Yeah.
So those are feedback that I get from people, even when they try to publish by themselves. It's not as easy as they seem.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a lot of work, the publishing, whether you go traditional, vanity, or you go like completely on your own. There's a lot of components to publishing a book. There's a lot of hours, a lot of time. So if you can have a team that's there to help you as you go along, then why not, right? And that's one of the reasons why I love working with authors, because when I first did my book, because I also do my own events, right? So, I would do my own event, and then I'm trying to do the signing, but then someone's calling me to like, oh, we need to know what to do over here and that kind of thing, right? So, one of the things that I will do is, while the author is doing the signing and being the star of the show, I can take care of like the background stuff, right? So,
the selling, the autograph.
Exactly. So that's a lot of times that's what ends up happening at the book signings. I end up being there with the little cash box and taking all the sales, and then on behalf of the author. So that's something that
a lot of people foresee that because they think publishing a book on your own is easy peasy and you can take care of it and then just print it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that it's easy just to publish the book and get it going, but all the behind the scene, all the background, that they're not able to see that, and you are, because you've been there, you know what it's like, and you've run other events and you've run the book publishing.
Right. Yeah, I've actually had some authors that publish with other companies, and then the first book that they did, and then for whatever reason they got referred to me or they found me online, and when they worked with me, they would tell me the differences, because I am open to answering their questions and explaining how things work, and they're like, oh, they learned so much, right? And that makes me feel good, because I'm all about teaching, I'm all about education, right? Like my books are about educational books, inspirational books. So for me to educate someone one-on-one like that, and they're receiving the feedback and they're learning more than they did before, like that makes me feel good too.
So if you're working or if you're looking to have a publishing person working with you, and I stress that with you, not for you, because she's going to be one-on-one. Check her out. Here's her website, by the way. And my goodness, I can't stress enough how great it is to work with Jessica Alex. And on that note, I have a little reveal. I have finished my book, and it's official. I will be publishing my book with Victorine Publishing this year, 2018. It is it. I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. It's done now. We need to work all the details that I have no idea what to do or how to work or how to edit covers. This is a lady who's going to be taking care of for me, and that's one of the greatest things about working with Jessica Alex, that you leave the work to her and she will do wonders. And I can't wait what the end result is going to be, because cover is going to be with her, the editing is going to be with her. It's probably going to be completely different what I have thought out, but I trust that it's going to be. One of the things that when I follow your social media and all your authors, the same expression, and I'm probably going to have that too. I love to record when I get my book back. The expression and the excitement that they get when they open up that box and the book is there.
And I'm smiling like this because it's my favorite, one of my favorite feelings throughout the process of publishing is when they open the book for the first time and they're just like elated, because sometimes people are nervous about publishing your book because you're putting your work out there. Exactly. And once it's out there, it's out there. So people are
turning back.
Exactly. So people are nervous about that, or like how are people gonna receive your book kind of thing, and maybe second guessing themselves. But once it's physically print it and you touch it and you hold it for the first time, it never ceases to fail me. It's the same reaction every time. That's what makes me go like, you see, this is what it's all worth it, or, you know what I mean?
This is what it's all about. Yes. This is what I'm doing all this for.
Exactly.
And I saw people crying, emotional. It's like they're giving birth. Even for you that is a mother, you know what it's like to give birth. I mean, I can imagine the feeling. It's just out of this world, And a lot of people are doing videos and they're doing promotional. Is this something that you help your authors us with?
Yes, so actually I have 2 people that I have if people want to do promotional videos.
Awesome.
So one is like if you want to help with social media as well, I work with an amazing person named Brooke, and she will help, like I'll work with her to come up with a campaign for your books, you know, in terms of promoting it on social media platforms, whether it's like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We will like put something together, and one of the things that we will include are videos. Other than that, I have a gentleman also who he has amazing videography skills. So if you're looking to do like a commercial, like definitely reach out. We can set you up with a meeting and work something out for you. So
awesome. Yes. And one of the things too that a lot of people are not as friendly as some of us using social media, Twitter, Instagram is very foreign for them. So to have and help them to tweet or to post on Instagram or Facebook, those are great help because it can help the sale of the book. And
definitely. And I mean, some people who publish their book, they never had a social media page, like no profile,
no presence.
Exactly. And that's something that when I'm, you know, connecting with them, I tell them like, you know, you should have something on, like, create a Facebook page, or, you know, create a Twitter account, depending on, of course, who your audience is, because if you're not comfortable on being on multiple platforms, like I will maybe suggest the best one for who your audience is.
Right.
You know, because I rather that you're really engaged on one platform than not engage at all on like 3 or 4 platforms, right? So that's something that I will, you know, consult with, you know, to tell you like you have to be on social media on some type of level if you're trying to promote your book. And if you can, the most ideal thing I think is to build your audience before your book comes out, right? Because there'll be more people anticipating your work coming out as opposed to, you know, starting from scratch like after your book is out. But, you know, we'll work with what we can. So if you haven't, you know, had a profile or, you know, an active account, and then you publish your book, then we'll start from there. But again, if you haven't published yet and you're thinking about publishing but you're not online, start now getting online and, you know, building your online community.
And I know for some of you it's not that easy. You're probably thinking, I don't even know how to go about this. It's very cumbersome, it's complicated, it's too much work, I don't have the time. But here it is, Jessica, she can help you with it. And I can't stress enough, I know it is a new world and it's hard to get used to it. Social media is here to stay, and if you don't have a social media presence, especially when you're writing your book, unfortunately, your book is not going to get as noticed as you will love, as you will like it to be. Well, Jessica, it's been, I wanted to just quickly show the other books and we can pass them along. So we had 2 done already.
So this one here is More Than a Princess, and this one is very timely on social media.
There you go. What's next?
Yes, so another one here, and I believe that you had the lovely Ashley Ann as well on.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this one here is actually...
I think this one was the one that cried on social media.
When she saw it, she definitely got a little teary-eyed there. I'm on your show too, Erin. Yes, so Oliver and the Octo Helmet. And this one here is a paperback, but we also did print on the spine as well. And this one actually hasn't been officially released yet, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. TikTok.
Oh wow!
Yes, by Francine Manning. She hasn't been on your show yet, but that's because it hasn't been officially released. So I'm sure
I love the art.
Yes.
So as you watch the show and as you've seen all the beautiful examples from everyone, I want to see your book next time. I know my book's it's going to be 2018. I want to see your book. If you have any questions for myself or for Jessica, please reach out to her. I can guarantee you are not going to be disappointed. At least a meeting, something that I can educate you if you're having any questions or any concerns,
for sure.
or something that you're not clear. She can definitely explain it to you. So Jessica, it's been an honor, a pleasure. Oh my goodness, so happy to have you here. Any last word?
Just again, I know I said this like a million times this interview, but thank you for having me. It's been an awesome journey with you and with John and the family, and just thankful to have you in my life. And I look forward to, I actually just found out about the announcement today, so you guys are surprised, I'm surprised too. So I'm honored that you want to work with me, and I wouldn't choose anybody else. Thank you, and I look forward to 2018 with you.